Good morning. First, I would like to extend my cordial greetings to the Board of Governors, to each governor present here. In the name of His Excellency Enoch Gondwana, Minister of Finance of South Africa, His Excellency Mohammed bin Hadi Al Husseini, Minister of Finance of United Arab Emirates, my dear friend, Her Excellency Hania Al Mashad, Minister of International Cooperation of Egypt, I thank you all the governors for their presence here. On behalf of New Development Bank, I would like to warmly thank the government of South Africa for hosting us in the beautiful city of Cape Town. Also, I would like to greet all the authorities, representatives, our member countries, especially the directors of the Board of Directors of NDB. I would like to greet also international organization, Multilateral Development Bank, and here I would like to thank the presence of His Excellency Jim Liqin, President of AIIB, all the other multilateral development banks and business leaders present at this open session of 9th Annual Meeting of NDB. The central theme of this meeting, Invest in a Sustainable Future, is at the core of the bank's activities and is one of the most priorities for the international community. It is rooted in the idea that economic growth, social inclusion, and environmental protection are interconnected and should be pursued simultaneously. This is the meaning of sustainable development. This vision was crystallized in 2015 United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which provide a comprehensive framework for addressing this global challenge. For our countries, sustainable economic development requires also an industrial basis and capacity in science, technology, and innovation that contribute to an expansion of productivity and better jobs. It also calls for collaboration among governments, business, and individuals to create systems that are both economically viable and environmentally friendly. On the other hand, systemic changes, especially in the international financial architecture, are urgently needed. As we know, emerging markets and developed countries face significant challenges to achieve sustainable development, such as inequality, extreme poverty, inadequate infrastructure, and insufficient access to education, health, and housing. For us, just transition requires a huge amount of resources and long-term financing. The multilateral development banks like NDB, can help in this challenging environment. However, it seems unlikely to mobilize more investment to sustain development without tackling the issue. In many countries, mainly developing ones, develop $7 trillion US. I talk about developed countries. Financing such high public debts drains a significant portion of the huge liquidity available in international markets. This liquidity could otherwise be channeled into financing the debt of emerging markets and developed countries, and thus the necessary investments to sustain development. For our developing countries, indebtedness becomes an excessive burden. As we know, fiscal space is essential to ensure that governments can simultaneously invest in development actions, combat climate change, and achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. Nevertheless, the debt of developing countries is growing too much and too fast. For instance, interest payments in developed countries have increased more quickly than public spending on infrastructure, health, education, and housing over the past decade. External shock, such as rises in interest rates in international markets and excessive depreciation of their currencies, end up fueling a vicious cycle of indebtedness. The mismatch between debt in strong currency and the income generated by the projects create a barrier to sovereign and non-sovereign investment in developed economies. For that, we need to put in place some actions. One, it is necessary to channel the international liquidity to developed economies, to developed countries, and reduce the burden of high interest rates. Second, develop alternatives like the financing local currency to provide a wider the fiscal space to invest. So, new financial solutions are needed for emerging markets in developed countries. Diversifying funding sources and using a broader currency basket improves economic resilience against shocks associated with monetary policy decisions. It can strengthen the fiscal situation to enabling financial logistics, social and digital infrastructure, housing, water and sanitation, education, and health. The use of local currency is therefore one strategic option. The availability of credit in local currency and/or currency swaps helps to tackle exposure to exchange rate and interest rate risks. The fact is that the hegemonic currency has two holes, an international and a domestic one. When the United States, for example, faces inflation, the monetary policy is used to raise interest rates, creating a lot of trouble to emerging markets and developed countries. If the domestic economy needs, they can use a strong dollar, what can provoke a debt soar on emerging markets in developed countries. The volatility is the rule, not the exception. By promoting transactions in local currency, we also facilitate investment growth, help governments and private sector overcome cash flows mismatch between project and financing. This approach provides great predictability and reduces the high costs associated with hedging needs. That is the reason why expanding the use of local currency is one of the new development bank's key strategic objectives for the 2022-2026 period. The bank is putting in place local currency sustainable development-oriented platforms and recognize the urgency of making green finance available to the member countries. Therefore, it aims to provide 30% of total financing in local currency of borrowing members. For this annual meeting, the challenge of just transition and finance for development will be brought to center stage. I would like to remember that in South Africa, we have been developing a good platform for local currency with ZAR. Discussions and presentations on cutting-edge financial system for sustainable development, prospects for sustainable investment strategies for local currency finance, as well as thought-provoking panel discussion and keynote address by prominent figures will take place in the future. We will have the opportunity to discuss and examine cooperative initiatives that address urgent social and environment issues. I am confident that we will have particularly fruitful discussions around these themes and advance both the understanding and practice of financial sustainable development. I would like to thank you all again for being here with the NDB team in our 9th year of existence. I'm sure the event will be very good for all of us. Thank you very much.
And thanks to you, Ms. Rousseff, ma'am. I would like to now invite His Excellency, Mr. Mohammed bin Hadi Al Husseini, to the podium, the Minister of State of Financial Affairs of the United Arab Emirates and Governor of the UAE on the NDB Board of Governors.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm honored to be here today, and I'd like to thank the South African government for the warm hospitality and for hosting the 9th annual meeting of the Board of Governors of the New Development Bank. I'd also like to acknowledge the remarkable work of the New Development Bank. The New Development Bank has been influential in promoting sustainable development and infrastructure projects across the member countries. The UAE fully supports the ongoing efforts to expand the bank's membership. Within the New Development Bank framework, one of our key priorities is the promotion of local currency lending. This priority is vital for diversifying the bank's funding sources, offering better pricing mix to its borrowers by mitigating exchange rate risks. Furthermore, private sector participation in the New Development Bank projects plays an important role in driving innovation and economic growth. In this light, the UAE encourages the New Development Bank to continue fostering partnerships with the private enterprises. We also commend the New Development Bank for its proactive approach in implementing the capital adequacy framework recommendations by actively shifting the risk appetite definition toward shareholder-defined limits. The New Development Bank has taken a critical step towards increasing its lending headroom. As we look into the future, it's imperative that the New Development Bank continue its collaborative efforts with other MDBs in the areas of co-financing and knowledge sharing. By working together, the New Development Bank can amplify its impact and drive sustainable development on a global scale. I look forward to our continued collaboration and the positive outcome it will bring. Thank you.
And thanks to you also, Minister Al Husseini, for your positive and encouraging statement. I'd like to now invite Her Excellency Dr. Rania Al Mashat, the Minister of Planning for Economic Development and International Cooperation over at the Arab Republic of Egypt and Governor for Egypt, to address us, ma'am.
Well, thank you very much. Good morning, Madam President Delma, Excellencies, Minister of Finance of South Africa, our dear friend Enoch, also Minister Mohammed Al Husseini, Minister of Finance from the United Arab Emirates, and all dignitaries who are here, esteemed governors and colleagues. It's an honor to stand before you today at the 9th annual meeting of the New Development Bank in this beautiful city of Cape Town. And let me extend our gratitude to the host country, South Africa, not just for the hospitality today, but also for the leadership over the journey of the NDB. Last year, I participated here as an alternate governor, only Minister of International Cooperation. Today, it's an honor to be the governor of Egypt at the NDB as Minister of Planning, Economic Development, and International Cooperation. Again, as we talk about investing in a sustainable future, it's only through country ownership, but through very strong partnerships that we will be able to move forward. This year is particularly significant for Egypt as we join you here in the annual meetings for the first time as a BRICS Plus country. This membership represents not only a recognition of our growing economic potential, but also an alignment with the values and objectives of different BRICS nations, rooted in fostering inclusive growth and enhancing cooperation among emerging markets and developing countries. As we gather under the umbrella of the New Development Bank, the multilateral development bank established by BRICS countries, Egypt stands ready to work alongside our partners to strengthen South-South cooperation and contribute to shared prosperity of our nations and beyond. This meeting is a testament to our collective commitment to sustainable development, a shared mission that has become ever more crucial in these very challenging times. The theme of this year's meetings, Investing in a Sustainable Future, resonates deeply with the objectives we all strive to achieve, particularly in a world that is grappling with unprecedented challenges ranging from repercussions of economic shocks, climate change, and also geopolitical tensions affecting peace and security, particularly in the Middle East. Egypt has always believed in the power of multilateral cooperation. Our strategic partnership with Africa, Asia, and Europe have positioned us in a very critical nexus for trade, culture, and innovation. And today, this also underscores the role in fostering South-South and triangular economic cooperation and contributing to global development goals. Over the past decade, we have also embarked on comprehensive economic reform programs aimed at restoring macroeconomic stability as well as fostering quality growth. Despite the significant achievements made, again, the improvements in public finance and increased investor confidence, there continue to be various challenges that also affect emerging and developing economies. Aiming to consolidate the partnership between Egypt and the NDB, we hosted in Cairo the NDB seminar titled Navigating New Horizons under the auspices of His Excellency Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, President of Egypt. This was June 11th and 12th, and it also was very important in fostering collaboration among the different themes that the New Development Bank pushes for. The seminar highlighted the importance of creating regulatory frameworks that attract private investments, a key element in achieving sustainable development goals. Also, the productive discussions and actionable insights emerged from the seminar have already begun to influence policy approaches, and we also see this in our discussions in the board over the next 2 days. Development finance institutions and multilateral development banks, including the New Development Bank, are at the forefront of addressing vast infrastructure needs of emerging markets and developing economies. The scale of these needs is increasing, particularly as we are approaching 2030, and Africa alone faces an infrastructure financing gap of more than $100 billion annually. This is where the NDB's role becomes very crucial, not only in providing financial resources, but also in leveraging private sector investments and co-financing arrangements that can amplify collective impact, as we heard from previous speakers. We are particularly focused on advancing the green energy initiatives as part of our national climate strategy, and our efforts have also been encapsulated in our country platform, the Nexus of Water, Food and Energy, NWAFI program, which aims to accelerate national climate agenda while providing opportunities to mobilize climate finance and private investments to support the green transition, reflecting complementarity between climate and development efforts. We look forward to the NDB's support in this domain and also how we can scale this to other countries. As we navigate the complexities of global financial markets, it is essential to explore innovative financing solutions such as blended finance, carbon credits, debt for climate swaps, among others. These are essential to attract and sustain investment in climate-resilient projects and requires concerted efforts from all stakeholders, including governments, multilateral development banks, private sector, and philanthropy. And here let me also mention the MDB roadmap that the G20 is pushing for, and also the required collective action between different MDBs to push and help what nationally different countries are trying to achieve. Moreover, South-South cooperation remains a cornerstone in the strategy of the NDB. By working together, we can share knowledge, best practices, and also tailor unique challenges into opportunities. Esteemed colleagues, I reaffirm Egypt's unwavering commitment to support the new development bank in achieving our shared mission of fostering sustainable development across the global South. The challenges we face are complex, but through cooperation, innovation, and determination, we can build a resilient future for all. Let me just emphasize a few points that were also made very clearly. Country ownership is extremely important. Collective work between the different MDBs is key, but countries also need to be very clear in terms of what is required, but what the NDB has been doing through the board, whether it's the capital adequacy framework or also what we'll be discussing with respect to local currency lending, are all different tools that are going to help foster this forward. I look forward to our continued collaboration and on the tangible outcomes that will undoubtedly emerge from this year's meetings. Together we can ensure that the NDB remains at the forefront of the global efforts to create a more equitable, sustainable, and prosperous economies for all member states. Thank you very much.
And thank you, Minister Al-Mashad, for your intervention. We will now watch a video from His Excellency, Mr. Foan Lan. He's the Minister of Finance of the People's Republic of China, and he will be addressing us in video format.
Respected President Rousseff, heads of delegations, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Due to urgent domestic arrangements, regretfully, I cannot attend the meeting in person. So today, I virtually attend the 9th annual meeting of the Board of Governors of the New Development Bank. First of all, let me begin by offering, on behalf of the Ministry of Finance of China, warm congratulations to the opening of the meeting. I would also like to express my sincere gratitude to the South African government and the NDB for their thoughtful arrangements. The NDB is a landmark achievement of BRICS cooperation. In the past 9 years since its inception, the NDB has made fruitful achievements in institutional development, operations, and international cooperation, especially under the leadership of its management headed by Madam President Rousseff. The bank's international influence has continued to expand, and it has become an important emerging force in the international financial architecture. On behalf of the Ministry of Finance of China, I highly commend Madam President and her management team. At present, geopolitical conflicts have intensified, and global growth lacks momentum. Emerging markets and developing countries. To this end, I would like to make 4 suggestions. First, the NDB should adhere to its purposes and missions and support the sustainable development of member countries in an innovative way. The NDB should be oriented to the needs of member countries and continue to expand and strengthen local currency financing. The bank should seize the historical opportunity